Hello people of Mine and Drive, and welcome back to Driver San Francisco. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at things to do with the cars in the game. So just to bear in mind, some of these things you may already know about or have been briefly mentioned before, but some of these you may not know about. We'll find out. So we're going to start off with the Nissan Skyline, or Nissan Skyline. As you can see here, it says right-hand drive and shows a picture with the steering wheel on the right-hand side. Now, as you'll see here when I take the vehicle out of the garage, it is in fact on the left-hand side. So this is an obvious error, and someone might have got confused with their rights and their lefts. But of course, if you want to have that right-hand drive feeling in the car, and you own a PC and have the mod menu, you could just move the camera to the right and maybe put it up close to the bonnet or something like that, and then you're driving on the right-hand side in the car. Right? Right? So let's take a look at the Dodge Monaco cop car. I've talked about this quite a bit in the past, how you can't drive it without mods, but let's take a look at the actual colour of the vehicle. So it's white normally in the game, and there was one pre-done cutscene in the game where it shows it to be black and white. You can just see the edge of it here. And in early screenshots of Driver San Francisco, as you can see here, it still has a weird sort of shading to it, and the logo isn't on the car. But if we actually do zoom in, it is on the car, but there seems to be some sort of, again, shading or lighting issue going on, which also happens with the Crown Vic police cars in early screenshots as well. Now, looking back at the Dodge Monaco that's in the game, there's still sort of some slight evidence that it used to have two different shades. If we zoom in here, you can compare both the doors, one being whiter than the other. Whether this is intentional or not, we've no idea. I feel like it is a mistake and it should be all the same colour, because it's not something very easily noticeable. Whilst we're on the subject of the Dodge Monaco cop cars, originally the normal Dodge Monaco cars had a bull bar, as seen here in some 2010 footage of the game. After that though, the movie challenges along with multiple other features were added into Driver San Francisco, including the addition of the cop Monaco, which was then given the bull bars, whilst the civilian Monacos had them taken away. Something you may not have noticed about the police Corvette is that it's got a completely different light bar compared to every other cop vehicle you can drive. Sticking with cop cars still, the ASYM, obviously not a real-life car, is the only police car in the game to have a partition inside, as you can see here. Moving on to another police-type vehicle is the police trailer you can see in the background here, from a trailer. And in another trailer, you'll see the same trailer, but it's a different colour trailer. Does that make sense? Now, it does appear in-game, however, I am quite perplexed of the trailer's actual colour or shade. Depending on the lighting once again, it does seem to vary. Also, the word police doesn't appear on the side of the trailer. Oh, my bad. It does appear on the side of the trailer, with the correct lighting. As you can see here, on the darker side of the trailer, the word police doesn't appear, whereas it does on the lighter side. And also in this case, it is more like the blue and black we see in one of the trailers. Now the trailer does appear a bunch of times in the game. There's actually one mission where it's actually attached to your truck that you're driving. There's one other thing you should know about the 18-wheelers. Normally when you take one out of the garage, or when you see them free roaming around on the map, they will have a trailer attached to them. However, if you don't want a trailer attached to your truck, make sure you shift to a dare after taking a truck out of the garage. And when you start up the dare, you'll have no trailer, and you can just quit the dare. If you have no dares left, you can still do the same thing with activities. So now we're just going to take a look at vehicles which have slight variations of themselves. This could be like the taxis, obviously with a different rooftop sign. There are also convertibles in the game. Sometimes they'll have the roof up or the roof down. They're a bit more noticeable. I never noticed the Fiat Bath has a version with the sunroof open and closed. And to add to this list, the Oldsmobile Cutlass has two versions, one with a spoiler on the back and one without. Now let's take a look at the buses in the game. Starting off with the city bus. Well, it does actually have a passenger space. Perfect for Jones. Oh. Next up, prison. The tour bus also has a passenger seat. And yes, the school bus also has a passenger seat. Jericho is going to be taught a lesson. No, never mind. The taxis have two passenger seats. Moving on to one of the fire trucks in the game, can you notice an issue when I turn on the lights? Not seen it? Well, it's this here. The red light doesn't seem to flash like the other one. Ooh, money. Maybe could spend it on fixing that light. Sticking with broken lights on the ASYM Corvette, you can see the lights are on at the front. And then when I turn on the sirens, they somehow flash, despite the fact the lights are already on. And we're going to end with something that was pretty noticeable, and I did in a video probably like 10 years ago. But any of the vehicles on the back of a tow truck don't actually have a driver. Well, they do, but they're invisible. And for most of these cars, you can actually chase them down in the correct cop car. As you can see here, there is still no driver. But hey, this takes place in a coma, so this isn't a mistake or anything.